Hey TechKnowStuds, here's an example of a network attached storage. I actually have a few of these in my house and I love them. It is so handy. What it is it's file storage that I can plug into my network and have access to anywhere on my network. And it also does a lot of like streaming and does some other app stuff as well. You connect a NAS into your switch, and then from there you can get to it from any device. So it's really great when you're trying to store data, back up data, or get it to somebody else's computer. And so it's just a central place for storing all of your files. So the key point to a network attached storage is that it's storage and we attach it to a network. And so it has a network connection to attach to a network, and then we can access it from any machines. The example that we have here is like the Synology. That's one of my favorites there, but there are other brands that are out there. Their purpose is to store data and make it available to everyone on the network or certain people on the network. Some OS examples. So the Synology has this disk station manager. Others just have some sort of firmware that they install on it. So it just depends on which brand it is that you're talking about. There is, some standard apps. A lot of it is file sharing apps, but there are some other apps that are on there also, like you can stream audio or video or any kind of media. So there's actually a lot of options from that perspective. Some benefits is the ease of use. There's a lot of scalability with it, and some drawbacks is if it's not done right, there's some security concerns with it. This is a NAS, a network attached storage. And it's storage, but it attaches to a network, so I can access it via a network. So let's jump into this item and see what it looks like on the inside. Here we have the hard drive right here, and it pretty much is covering up anything else that we can see in here. So I'm going to take the hard drive out, and then we'll take a look what's underneath and probably take this plate off. All right, now we're looking at the inside of this. So we have a battery here. That's probably to save some of the settings for this machine. Looks like we also have the processor. My guess is it's one of these is the processor. So maybe this, and one's probably the memory. We see a couple of other chips here, and we got a few other chips around here. So anyways, my guess is that this is probably the processor and maybe this is some of the memory there. But this is inside this Synology NAS. And not a great view on the other side without me taking too much more apart, but there's not too much on the other side of this board. All right, time to put it all back together. And there we have it. It's all put back together. I've logged into one of my Synologies to show you what the operating system looks like. This is Disk Station Manager, or DSM. In the bottom right-hand corner here, we see some health status and the CPU and RAM and just some different stats on the health of this device. In the top here, we can see that taskbar with several like notifications here and different users, and we've got a search menu here in the top left. We've got the main menu that brings up the different applications. There's a bunch of packages that we could install. So I've opened up the package center. Here's a bunch of different packages that we could install on here. For instance, if I wanted to turn this into a streaming server, this has the ability to install a Plex media server. So that's just one example of things that I can install on here. So this looks and feels very similar to like the Pi or a Linux system, and that's because it is built off of a Linux system. So they've taken Linux and then they built this DSM on the DSM components on top of that Linux system.